Hey, this is Nicole Kelly, host of Loud and Proud. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Ezekiel Drews, host of Podcast, A Star Wars Story, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Podcast, A Star Wars Story, where we talk about anything and everything Star Wars. A new show comes out bi-monthly. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Podcast, A Star Wars Story. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Everyone, it is hashtag No Filter Friday on Public House Media. This week is a strange week. I'm a half hour behind because it's the All-Star Games and there's so many people out in all of LA. All of LA is normally crawling with people. I will say that. Like, there's usually lots of people everywhere. But honestly, with All-Star, it's like a whole other level. If you want to eat, forget it. If you want to shop, forget that. It's just crawling with people. When they have it in Arizona or Vegas or Miami, fantastic. Whatever is far away from Los Angeles is where All-Star needs to be. Not, it's Giant Starbucks Cup Day. FYI. Because, you know, that's the life that we're living. It's flu season. Gotta stay hydrated. That's how this works. So, we are going to, I'm going to take a second, put this down, and share this so we get some people coming in. So, it's a group discussion and not just me because it's more fun, you know, when the homies can have some. Shout out to our All-Star Weekend. Just horrible. Okay. Going to share our little broadcast here so everybody can come hang out with us. And, you know, worst case scenario, we can take, you know, over under on who's going to get pregnant All-Star Weekend. Because in the spirit of the show and what is going on around here, I'm going to say Wednesday, by Wednesday, someone will have come out and be like, All-Star Weekend, I went and this person that plays basketball did this to me. Watch, it's going to happen. I promise you. I promise you. That's already rehearsed. Everything's set up. It's going to happen. My iPad is so slow right now. I bet you that's because of All-Star Weekend, too. All these people out here sucking down my bandwidth. I can't. Let's see here. I just want to share a post. How hard is that? Come on. See more. Because it's really more fun, you know, when we have people come and join us. In the words of Snoop Dogg, it's not fun unless the homies can't have any. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Why can't I share? Why can't I share this? This is no fun. 'Tis no fun, no fun, no fun, no fun. This might take a second. It just might. Hopefully they'll come up and then we can just, be on our way. Or not, and it can just, ruin my life. That's fine. It's bad enough that I had to endure life-ruining traffic today. Of course, Facebook's not gonna help me out either. Because maybe I'm cursed. Maybe I'm cursed in that way. Maybe if I use my other page, I can do it. Let's try the other page. Maybe the other page are like, "Hi, Roger. Thanks for coming on. Are you ready for the Oscars?" Because I've been thinking about that because we haven't done we have done 0 award show season anything, honestly. Haven't done a single thing. Not even. Like, we're such slackers. I don't know if I'm going to be able to share this, and that's going to really suck. Hang on. I'm going to try one more time. I don't know if we're coming to the dinner. I don't know. That's a very good question. That's a very good question if we're coming to the dinner or not. I will check with Steven and see if that is a thing that we are doing, because we are so scattered. It is unexcusable how out of sorts we are for this award show season. Like, we should be ashamed of ourselves. But thank you for having 2 seats. That's very nice. All right. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if I'm going to be able to share it. Oh, really? You're doing the suite and the dinner on the same day? If you feel like you can swing it, knock yourself out. That's amazing. Because that is a whole thing. You guys are going to have the craziest day. Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to share this broadcast, and that's going to suck. But oh, you're doing the suite at the Hollywood Museum? Ooh. That's fun. Switching it up. Let's go to iTunes. No. No. See if I can get the episodes. That's very cool. I don't even remember what happened last year for Oscars. I don't. Which is sad. It's sad that I don't even remember. I think we were so partied out by the time the actual Oscars rolled around last year that we were like just DOA on that one. But the Hollywood Museum is so beautiful. It's such a cool venue to have stuff at. Let me try iTunes. See if that will come up with my episode list. Oh, wow. So it's like a maze. That's really cool. Although I am going to miss getting eyelash extensions this year because I'm going to Mexico for like the majority of March. And I need to get... Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad that I did that. I actually have a dentist appointment on Wednesday, to finally get my baby tooth, like, not necessarily fixed, like we're getting a new game plan together for it, but I'm like nearing the end of my like teeth changing situation, which is my favorite thing ever. Shows. No, go back. Episode notes? No, that's not what I want. Oh, I had it. It was so close. Available episodes. Okay, wonderful. Oh, how lovely. Yeah, I need to work on my lash game. I just dyed my eyebrows and I got them waxed today, so they're up above the eyelashes. We're doing real good. So now I have to start working down like the rest of myself. Okay, well, since I can't share the broadcast, and this is just how things are going to have to go, we're going to start. Ooh, shall we start at the bottom? And now we're here, a la Drake, or should we go from most recent to not? No, I did it again. There we go. Okay, so I'm using this list on iTunes as a guideline, but there's more episodes in this, so we're just going to have to like roll through it. First episode, number 1, was on Harvey Weinstein, obviously, because he was the kickoff to everything. And I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but Rose McGowan's former manager, who's a lady, committed suicide here 2 weeks ago, and I've been running around like a crazy person trying to get like more good information on the situation, not just whatever they're printing or, you know, rumors, but like people that actually knew her, and I'm coming up empty-handed. And I will say that it is definitely, her committing suicide is definitely a turn of events in this whole situation, because as awful as everything was, no one has lost their lives. No one has been, you know, maimed in this whole giant craziness. And I usually can get pretty decent information from just calling around and be like, hey, did you know this person or what have you? And I tried so many things to find somebody like within my circle that either knew her, worked with her, or had some piece of information, and like nobody's has anything to say about it just yet. So we're going to let the story develop on that. Harvey is hopefully away at some resort somewhere, being away from town. And there's not really any word yet that I've heard. She had real issues via the Hollywood Reporter. Yeah, they have all kinds of information on that, but I want to talk to somebody that like knew her or worked with her, etc., because it just, I'm not just going to take face value on this one. I want more. I want more out of no more. Like that's what I want out of that situation. Hopefully old Harvey is off and away sometimes, or, you know, out someplace that's not here where he can just be away. No word yet on what's going to happen to the Weinstein Company itself. It's been really, really quiet over there. Certainly a quiet Sundance without Harvey and Bob, that's for sure. So, and no Weinstein party at the Globes, none of that stuff. I'm really curious to see if anything ever gets printed about what's going to happen to the Weinstein Company, or any whispers around town of like who's coming to pick the bones clean, or if they're going to transfer their intellectual property over to something else, or what exactly they're going to do, because that's bad news over the Weinstein Company. And then Episode 2 was how to avoid bad situations in Hollywood. And I will say that now that all of this has, become big and huge and crazy, SAG now has, SAG and some of the other guilds also have a hotline for sexual harassment in the workplace, and you can call people, and then the entire Time's Up. Oh, the COO was ousted today? Ooh. But I want to know, I get that, people are coming off the train, but I want to see what's going to happen to, the actual business that's the Weinstein Company, because it's been, they're buying and selling, their buys, their sells, their, what's going to happen to all of their, residual payments and stuff like that. I want to know. I want to know if the vultures are coming to pick the bones clean, or what's going to happen with that, because I think it will be interesting. And I want to see who wants to come pick the bones clean, more importantly. The podcast can't see my eyebrows raising, but they're raising. Okay, so how to avoid bad situations. Okay, and then I think it should be sold and renamed as well. I think they should just disperse it, or maybe go back to the filmmakers and yeah, I bet you could buy the Weinstein Company for real cheap right now. I'm sure you could. Maybe there's people circling the wagons around it to be like, let's see if we can. You'd have to change the name regardless, but maybe somebody's coming to get all their properties. Wouldn't it be great to just be like, okay, so we're going to come in here. Here's a check. Go away. And we're going to take the bones. We're going to take the guts, and maybe interview and rehire employees. Maybe not, depending on who it is. And just get, the Rolodex alone is worth the juice on that one, I think. But anyway, back to this. So the Time's Up Now organization, the actual organization, has a defense fund is putting together a defense fund for people that need legal help and, either prosecuting or pursuing civilly sexual harassment, misconduct situations. So that's a good thing. Although I haven't heard anything on what we're going to do about kids and the rampant pedophilia in this town, which was what episode 2 was largely about, underage kids and keeping them safe in this snake's nest. And then third episode of hashtag No Filter Friday was Brett Ratner. Brett Ratner has gone and slunk away somewhere. I don't think he's even in LA right now. The Jewish Federation that gave him his award or whatever, they've cut ties with him. When all those newspapers from Israel came out in support of Gal Gadot, it was over. It was over for him. So maybe he'll go direct to music video in Asia or something. Who knows? That would be his best bet, is if he was just to go to the foreign market and use his name. Not necessarily use his name, but use his brand. Yeah, he lost his WB deal. Yeah, it's pretty much over. Brett Ratner's best hope is to either go wherever Harvey is and they can just powwow together, or go someplace that's not North America, or any English-speaking nations would probably be his only hope at this point. But I haven't heard anything else from. They let that one die in the paper, because same time that was happening, Matt Lauer got fired. Which was episode number 4, was about Matt Lauer. Really? That's he got pulled off of Rush Hour 4. Wow. But, when things like that happen, they're very well career enders, especially when you have people that are like really, I don't want to say credible. That's not, when you have people jump off of your train and those people are Wonder Woman, people will follow Wonder Woman and be like, nope, no thanks, see you later, bye. Not doing it. Where Gal Gadot goes, everyone else will follow. So back to Matt Lauer. Good old Matt Lauer got fired, and he is certainly not getting a new job. Matt Lauer probably couldn't even get a public access show at this point. So hopefully he saved his money, because he's certainly not going to be working anymore. Whoever takes his place certainly won't have big shoes to fill. Although they should probably take the little button off of his desk that locks his door from the inside. They should probably take that out. Hopefully NBC, whoever is on the renovation janitorial team over at NBC should probably take that away before somebody else uses it and, rocks an entire network. See more episodes, available episodes. But I don't think we're ever going to hear from Matt Lauer again. I think he is toast, and no network's ever gonna he's just not worth the risk. No, he's not worth the risk, not worth the bad press. Like, unless like Oprah herself is like, I'm gonna give Matt Lauer a show on the OWN network, which would be a major pay cut anyway. I don't think he's coming back. Okay. How many episodes? Okay, so that's number 4. Episode number 5. It's my friend Carter Osterhaus. To be fair, his story was not super big in the news. It just stuck out to me because I know Carter and Amy. And I read it, and it was just so, it was like the beginnings of the things that happened to Aziz Ansari and TJ Miller and that whole situation. It's like the beginnings of people, except for in Carter's case, he did meet her at work and they were having relations on set and off set. So that was a little bit different than TJ's and Aziz's, but luckily it wasn't a super big story. Him and Amy don't even live in Hollywood most of the year. They live in Traverse City, at Carter's house in the woods where he, makes stuff. And I don't know what Amy does all day there besides hang out with their dogs. So it wasn't really a big story, but it was the first story that I did on first episode that I did on somebody that was a friend of ours. And I was like, hey, this is kind of weird. Let's talk about it. And then, although this episode is not on iTunes, it's still on the Public House Media page, but it's not on iTunes. It's not on iHeartRadio because I had technical difficulties and it cut off halfway through, which really sucked because it was such a good show. And that was the show that I did about TJ Miller, who was also a good friend of ours. And his was the dawn of people accusing people of things that happened long before they'd ever started working. And it wasn't, workplace-based scenarios, which is what every other story was about, was, people hanging jobs over people's heads or, career X, Y, and Z. TJ and his wife have been dealing with this girl who remained anonymous. She didn't give her name, so I don't have a name for her. Saying that, back in college, he did this and he did that. Read the article because it's kind of wild. And it's like, whoa. And their response was even, which was even better because they were the first married couple to release a joint statement. Hey, we know this chick. She doesn't need to say her name. We have email receipts for otherwise. And Stephen talked to TJ and Kate 3 weeks ago, and they have decided to leave LA, and they are going to move away and go be away, which is a good time to do that. I think it's like the first time in LA Hollywood situation that you don't necessarily need to be here, like physically every single day anymore, especially when you're somebody like TJ who does stand up regularly and you're touring anyway.